In this video, I would like to give you a short introduction to Mailchimp. First of all, what exactly is Mailchimp? Well, Mailchimp is an email marketing software that you can use in order to, for instance, send out a lot of emails at the same time, that you can use in order to create a newsletter and create campaigns. Now, let's first of all look at the pricing. I personally think that you should start out with the free model. You can basically get 2,000 contacts and still use everything for free. So you get basically the entire functionality of Mailchimp up until you have 2,000 leads, so 2,000 email addresses. As soon as you have more, you pay $10 a month or more. And if you really have like a lot of email addresses and are like high volume online marketer, then of course you can go with this one for $199 per month. Nevertheless, right now, I would definitely recommend you to use this one right here, New Business Forever Free. So what you want to do is you want to sign up for free right here, or if you already have an account, click on log in, and then afterwards I'm just going to log into my own account right now. So what I'm going to do with you is I first of all just want to have a look with you at the account and how it looks like. Now I have a two-factor authentication, so right now it will send my phone basically a code that I have to type in, and then afterwards we can get started with Mailchimp. So there we go, the code just arrived. And I'm just going to type that in right now quickly, and then we can get started. So all right, let's click on login, and now we are inside our Mailchimp account. So right here we have campaigns, templates, lists, and reports. Now a list is basically a place where you can, fill in the email addresses that you already have, where you can upload leads, for instance, in a CSV file. Then to the left we got templates, for instance, for a newsletter. Or for instance, if you publish products a lot, if you bring out a lot of products, then of course you can also send out some kind of email with products in it, or you can just, create basic templates for any emails you want to send. And then over here we get campaigns, so basically campaigns of emails. For instance, if you're sending out, let's say, an email to all the new people that just purchase your product or that just visited your website, you can do that with this tool. You can basically just take a certain, let's say, you create a certain template, then you send that template in a campaign to a certain list, and then basically what you're doing is you're sending a certain email to a lot of people, and you can basically, Mailchimp calls that a campaign. So let's first of all have a look at lists. We can create lists right here. I already have a couple of lists, but if you want to create a list, just go over here to the right and click on create list, and it will now say new list or groups. We want to create a list. And now what it says right here is we can set first of all a list name. For instance, we can call this one example list, and we can this now says default from email address. This is the address people will reply to. For instance, I could use my business address right here, leon@teaching-hero.com. And then down below, we got the default name. So basically the name that people are going to see as soon as they receive an email from us. For instance, we could name this one just Leon Chaudhry, so my name. And then down below, we can first of all create this basically says right here, remind people how they signed up to your list, then reuse a reminder from another list. For instance, the reminder of this list is German, this one is English. You're receiving this email because you are a good friend or affiliate of Teaching Hero or Leon Chaudhry, and then company organization, and this is my business address. And then down below, the country Germany, and you can also type in the phone number, but you don't necessarily have to. And this is now important. If you live in the EU, then you definitely want to click on this one right here, because there is a new law on basically like from the EU, and the law is that people need to become a part of your newsletter through a double opt-in. So it sends contacts an opt-in confirmation email, and they then have to click on the link inside the confirmation email in order to really subscribe to your list. Now, I think this absolutely is ridiculous, but it is a law right now, and you don't want to mess with the law, especially of the EU, and that's why please, 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 if you live in the EU, click on this button. Just by the way, just to clarify it, if you have your business outside the EU, this does not matter. If you live inside the EU and have your business outside the EU, this does not matter. If you live outside the EU but you have your business inside the EU, this matters. And if you live inside the EU and have your business inside the EU, this matters. All right, so then down below, notifications, you can get certain, like you can, for instance, create a daily summary. So every single day it will show you how many people subscribed and unsubscribed, then one by one, which is basically, you know, as they happen, and then one by one unsubscribe. I always like to do this one right here. I like the daily summary. Then afterwards I click on save, and then we created this list right here. And we can also, of course, you know, add context to this list by just simply doing this, import contacts. And then we can, for instance, copy paste them from a file. When we click right here to copy paste from file, or a CSV or tab delimited text file, we can just upload that, and then it will automatically you know, upload it into this list. But let's go back for a second and let's have a look at this bottom, at the bottom right here. It says create a sign up form. And for instance, right here, you can use the form builder by Mailchimp in order to create some kind of squeeze page, some kind of sign up form in order to get people to give you their email address. But actually we're going to do that later on here in this video. All right, so then let's head over to templates, and here we can create templates for emails. For instance, when we click over here on create templates, we can create a template for instance, a newsletter. Let's say you're publishing a lot of products, then I would click on this one right here, sell products. And this is now a template that we're going to fill in. And it says right here, first of all, content. These are all, let's say, things that you can drag and drop in here. And basically this is a block of content. For instance, this right here is the logo, and you can replace that logo by clicking on replace. And let's, for instance, take the logo of Course Factory. So let's insert that right here. And now it says Course Factory. And then down below, we could, for instance, say new courses by Course Factory. You know, it would say that down here. This is now the headline. And then down below, we can add, for instance, a product name. This could, you know, we can just click right here and replace and upload a photo. Let's see, I think we don't really have any photo for an online course. So let's actually go to Pixabay for a second. And what I'm going to do with you right now is I'm going to look for an online course photo, and then we're going to upload that into our newsletter. Let's see, online course, there we go. And we're just going to click on free download. This is, of course, just an example. And we're going to upload this photo directly into the newsletter. So we click right here on this photo. Let's open it up and let's give it a new name in order to find it more quickly. Let's call this one 01 training. All right. And now let's get back into Mailchimp. And now let's upload this photo. So we click right here on replace, and then afterwards click on upload. And now it will go directly to our downloads. And then we're going to upload this photo right here. Open. And it will now take a couple of seconds until this photo is uploaded, and then we can use it for our newsletter. This is basically how it's gonna look like. And then down below we can add some more text. For instance, we could say enroll in all of our new courses today for only $1. And if you have such an offer, great. Then down below you can, for instance, say just head over to onlinecourse.com to enroll in all of our courses. Now, if you, for instance, have a B2B business, you can, of course, also send this kind of newsletter to your potential clients and basically, you know, inform them about things that are happening inside your company. And then down below, we have the button Start Shopping. I just duplicated. So this is the duplicate button. I'm just going to delete it right now. And there we go. This is the button. We can link that button to a certain URL. You just simply have to plug in the URL right here. For instance, onlinecourse.com. And then down here, we can add more products. I'm not going to do that right now. It's actually very simple. It's just as we did it. Down here, you can write text. Then over here, you can upload a certain photo, which will then automatically be placed in there. And down here, and this is now important, you want to write down, the email address that's being, from which you sent this, then also the copyright. And please be sure to have this unsubscribe from this list button in here, because there's something called the CAN Spam Act. The CAN Spam Act of 2003. This basically says that you have to have this unsubscribe button down there. It's illegal to not have it, so please leave it in there. So right now we created this newsletter, and then we can click on save and close, and now we can click on preview and test. It says right here, enter preview mode or send test email. For instance, we can enter the preview mode, and this is then basically how it is gonna look like, so not too bad. And then if you want to save that and exit, just click right here on save and exit. And now you can name this template, for instance, course factory template. All right, and then we are done with that as well. And now if we want, we can send out this newsletter to our list. So we click right here on create campaign. And then afterwards, we have to choose a list. So it says right here, who are you sending this campaign to? We can now add recipients. For instance, we can add our example list, this one right here. So we can also check out certain segments of that list. I want to target all people on this list. You can also target a group or a new segment or new subscribers, active subscribers, inactive subscribers, and so on and so on. Let's click on save. And then okay, it says right here, you need to have at least one subscriber to the list. Yes, of course, that makes sense. So let's just choose one of my other lists, for instance, this one right here. And now let's click on save. There we go. And now it says from, and it says from Teaching Hero, and this is the email address. Yep, let's click on save. And then we can add a subject, for instance, new online courses. And the preview text could also be enroll in all our courses for $1 today. And then you click on save, and then you're done with that as well. And now content, it says right here, we'll add the required monkey rewards badge to your footer, which is basically what we didn't fill out. So you have to do a little bit of work on there, but as soon as you're done, you can just click up here on send, and it will automatically send the email.